Good morning and welcome to the number one podcast in Novi. Now you Novi. I am Damon, sitting in for Cheryl. She is out as always, taking care of the community, so she's not in with us. But I do have a special guest, one of my great friends, Christy Grunwald, Commander Christy Grunwald.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Commander.
Thanks for having me.
A newly commander. How long have you been commander?
About 2 years.
Oh, it's been 2 years already.
Yeah, I know it goes by fast when you're having a good time.
Yeah, I remember that process. That was fun.
I know. I was happy that you were part of it.
I was. That was what I was trying to get to, is that I was a part of helping her become commander.
Yes.
I'm
awesome.
taking credit for her.
Yeah,
her
I'm glad you
20
were.
years of experience. How long have you been an officer?
22 years.
Yeah. See? Mm-hmm. So, but aside from that, if it weren't for me, she would not be commander.
That's correct. All the kudos and credit go to you, and I appreciate your support.
That's funny. Okay, so we're here to talk about weather.
Okay.
So we've gotten quite a few calls and emails about we're having extreme weather this week. The National Weather Service says it'll be 90 plus degrees every day this week, plus potential of thunderstorms later on this week. So we've been getting calls about the Civic Center and other city facilities being a cooling center. Mm-hmm. And that is not typically the case.
Right.
So can we talk a little bit about what conditions we would sort of convert this building into a cooling center?
Sure, yeah. So there's a lot of times a misconception when the heat goes up like this that our city building becomes a cooling center instantly, almost like if it's 90 plus degrees, right? But that's actually not the case. Really, the only time that we would be implementing our city facilities for our cooling centers would be when there's some type of large power outage in conjunction with this extreme heat that we're having. So one of the nice things is that Novi has a lot of great places that you can go to stay cool. And those are some options that, we can talk about a little bit further. But that's primarily why we don't have the Civic Center here as a cooling center, or the police department, or...
And conversely, in the winter, a warming center.
Correct.
Same sort of scenario. If there's a widespread power outage in the city, then that's when everything activates.
Correct.
That's not to say that we are not monitoring the situation. The city is always monitoring everything,
right,
and keeping an eye on everything to make sure that our residents are safe.
Yeah, and that's what makes our city such a great place to be, because everybody's so invested in making sure that we're taking care of all of our residents and that we are doing everything that we can to make it the best optimal place. And with that, you're right. We're monitoring it all the time. We're having a lot of conversations about directions that we want to go if certain circumstances happen with extreme weather. Power outages, goodness, there was a tornado that wasn't
not far away
just a couple weeks ago, so we're always watching for that and looking for opportunities to make sure that we're keeping everyone safe.
Right. And I think you mentioned something that, kind of touches on what I wanted to say next, which is, well, first of all, use common sense, right?
Right.
So when you're out and about in extreme weather conditions like this, it's really hot, it's really cold, use common sense, right?
Right.
But secondly, take care of each other.
Right.
And that's what we do so well in Novi. Look out for your neighbor. Look out for your friends. Look out for your family. Look out for those people that may not have family.
Right.
The person that lives alone, the elderly person, the kids. Watch out for everybody.
Sure.
And let's keep Novi safe together.
Yeah, because you'd be surprised in this heat. You don't have to be out very long where you can start to have effects of heat stroke and, hydration is really important. And so when you talk about watching out for each other, somebody might be out doing some yard work. They think they're in the shade and they're doing okay. And next thing you know, they haven't maybe hydrated the way they were supposed to. So yeah, if we can make sure that we're checking in on each other, it'd be good all the way around.
And the heat is unusual to us, but it is not unusual to the rest of the country, other parts of the country.
Right.
I was just in Texas last week.
Oh, goodness.
This is nothing.
Yeah, I bet. I can only imagine.
This is nothing.
Right.
This is nothing.
Right.
90s at 8 a.m. is what it felt like. And extremely humid. I was in the Houston area.
Yeah. Beautiful area.
It is beautiful. From what I saw from my hotel room, it's beautiful.
Because it was so hot, right? You were staying in a cool place.
I stayed in a cool place. I used
smart.
Common sense,
Use common sense. Yeah, exactly.
I walked early in the morning and I was like, oh my God, why is it so hot this early in the morning? And then I went back to my hotel.
Yeah. Oh, I can only imagine.
But for them, point being is that, depending on where you live, you get used to certain weather, certain
Right.
temperature. So when my family from Houston comes here and it's less than 50 degrees, they think they're in a blizzard.
I was just going to say that too. Yeah. I can only imagine an inverse during the winter time, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So there are plenty of things to do indoors in Novi.
That's
You know,
correct.
you have, so you can still come to the Civic Center during normal business hours, typically 8 to 5. Sometimes that extends into the evening, depending on what activities are happening.
Sure.
Through our parks department. There is beautiful artwork in the atrium all the time.
True,
So
yeah.
if you need to get out of the house for a few minutes,
Yes. Yes.
you can come to the Civic Center. You can take a look at the artwork.
Yes.
It could be photography 1 month. It could be original paintings 1 month. It could be there are sculptures. There's the race car. What is the name of the race car? How am I forgetting?
The Novi
that?
special. Come
Thank
on.
you,
That's
Josh.
right, yeah.
Josh is our extra special guest.
Yes.
Yes.
Debuting.
The
Is this your
unseen
debut?
guest. No, I've talked before.
Okay. Yeah. So Josh is the mysterious voice, our extra special guest to help me sound
Yeah.
smarter
The
than I
man
really
behind
am.
the curtain
Yes.
Yeah.
in
I need to
Oz,
get a
right?
curtain.
Yeah.
Can you make
Yes,
curtains?
we should get a curtain
Yes.
with a camera, and you could just peek from behind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every now and then. So the Novi special is here. So we have lots of cool things inside the Civic Center. There's the Novi Library, which has a ton of stuff to do inside the library. It goes beyond books, so to
It
speak.
sure does.
They just started their summer reading program earlier in June 3rd, I think is when it started. You can still participate in that. They have the iCube, the Makerspace. They have a ton of stuff inside the library. And they're really nice and friendly in there.
Oh, they're wonderful over there. They absolutely are. And then they have a place where you can get some food. Right?
There is a cafe.
Yes.
If you
So-
want to get
and it's
Starbucks on a
delicious.
hot day, you can
Yes.
get your iced
An
Starbucks.
iced, I was just going to say, yep, like an iced coffee,
your
right?
mocha chocolate,
Yeah.
grande, venti,
Yeah.
whatever they're called.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're called.
I don't either. Refresher, some kind of maybe a strawberry
A
refresher
spritzer
or something. Yeah.
They have
yeah.
to have that, right?
Yeah,
If nothing else, they have ice that you can chew on.
that's right. And pleasant people.
And pleasant people, as always.
Yes.
Another city facility that sometimes people may forget about because it's kind of tucked away, the Novi Ice Arena. The Novi Ice Arena. They have public skating times.
Yeah.
If you go to their website, their entire schedule is there when you can come, and there's sort of open skate times and
Sure.
stuff like that. So
Sure.
Ice Arena is cool.
Yeah.
What else? What is your favorite indoor activity in Novi?
Goodness, there's a lot of things to do. I shop at the mall sometimes. I have some teenage girls, so we do that, right?
I'm familiar with that.
Yes, I bet you are. Yes. But if we're talking about my favorite, at Christmas time, I had a chance to get a gift card to iFly, and I went and did that, and it's absolutely a blast. I didn't think that I would enjoy it as much as I did, but if you haven't had a chance to try it, it's something to think about. But it's nice and cool in there. I mean, goodness, you're in a wind
You're
tunnel.
in a wind tunnel, right?
Yeah,
You can't
it's
get
cool
more breezy
and
than
it's
that.
a wind tunnel.
Unless
yeah.
you jump out of
yeah.
an actual plane. I don't think
Yeah.
you'll get more wind than that.
Yeah, I would think so too. But goodness, there's other places you can go. You can go see a movie.
Right.
Right.
That would be in my favorite.
Yeah,
list.
that's not so bad.
yeah.
The popcorn is great at Imagine. And
Right.
yeah, so you can just see a movie. There's the hub.
There's
right?
the hub, which in the hub, you can do something else ice related. You can go curling.
Oh, curling. That's right.
You
Yeah.
haven't done it yet then, I take it.
No, I watched.
I watched too, and to see people
Yes.
sort of splat on their
Yes.
belly stretched out like Superman is actually
Yes.
hilarious.
It was
So-
really funny. Yeah, you don't even have to participate to have a good time, right? You just go and watch.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's the hub, there's iFly, there is Battle,
Yes.
there's indoor go-karting,
Yes.
Paradise Park,
Yes.
which
Yes.
for me is nostalgic because I used to take my kids there when they were
Oh, I didn't know
were
that.
Tiny
Yeah.
Tots. Yeah. Oh, they
Yeah.
loved it. Yeah. So
Yeah.
they have the indoor arcade in there. Josh, what's your favorite indoor activity? in
Well,
Novi?
I was gonna say imagine, but imagine watching a movie, getting an icy or another cold beverage, and just relaxing on those chairs, and maybe
Sure.
taking a nap. Depending on the movie. That's definitely my number one place in Novi.
Taking a nap during the movie?
Depends on the movie if I'm engaged or not. Sometimes if it's Friday night and you have a long
Yeah.
work week and you hit that seat, you all of a sudden the movie's over and you don't see anything. So
I may have had that happen.
That becomes
right.
more frequent as you get older.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm kind
Yeah,
of
because
scared.
they have the plush recliner.
I was going to say the
seats
chairs
and,
are so comfortable
yeah.
now. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of tough.
And they have lots of beverage options.
True. True.
What else, Josh? You're a Novi native. What else can you think of?
Novi native. I don't know. I spend a lot of time indoors, reading, playing video games, TV. You don't have to necessarily leave your like home to do fun things
Sure.
in Novi, I
Right.
guess.
Sure.
And my home where I live, I have my own home gym, and the way it's set up, like my stationary bike is right by the AC, so I just
Oh,
hop on the
nice.
bike, and the AC is hitting me 24/7.
That's a great location.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a smart setup.
I also have a stationary bike, but as you can see, I don't use it very often.
It's okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't use a stationary bike very
I
often
am
either.
stationary on the bike.
there's
actually.
really no point to
It's
a stationary bike.
It's a sitting bike.
You need a bike to
Right.
move places.
Right, right.
Well, that's good.
I
Thank
think we're
you.
forgetting
Yeah.
about escape room.
Escape room is on my
Yeah.
list. I can't believe I forgot that. Yes,
Yeah.
escape room is cool.
Yeah.
And that's great as a group. That's a great group
Right.
activity. That is great as a team building activity.
We escaped. We went recently, and
We did.
we
Did
did
you?
escape.
We
Yeah.
escaped just in the nick of time.
Good, I'm
We
impressed.
did have to ask for one clue, right?
Yeah, it was a little convoluted with their puzzle.
It was
and-
tricky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were like, "What is
But
happening? Why can't we?"
you
figure
could have
this
asked
out?
3 times, and we only asked once.
We
So
only
That's
asked once,
impressive,
and
yeah.
we got out in less than an hour. Was it
Good
like
for you.
55 minutes or something like that?
Yeah, good for
Yeah,
you.
yeah. So
I haven't done one yet, but
You
I
should.
hear it's a blast.
you should. It was surprisingly fun. I expected it to be fun, but it was more fun than I thought it would be.
Right.
Yeah, And you get to see how much smarter everyone else, all of your other peers are than you are.
Yeah, goodness, I'm not looking forward to that moment. But
And kudos to Josh. Josh was moving through the puzzles pretty quickly.
Good.
He was knocking them out. So
it's a
Man.
specialty, huh?
yeah,
I just sit at
Okay.
home and play with puzzles all
All
day.
right. All
That's
right.
my specialty.
Well, when you have skills, why not?
Put that brain to use.
That's right.
I'm on the
Good.
bike doing puzzles too at the same time.
Good. That's impressive. It's almost like chewing gum and walking, right?
Yeah.
He's on the bike.
I do that all
figuring
the
out
time
how to
too.
escape.
I
You do?
love gum. Yeah,
Good.
it's great, and I don't
Good.
choke usually.
That's important. That's very important. We wouldn't want that to happen.
No.
It's hilarious. Well, thank you for coming by. We
bet.
appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thanks for your extensive knowledge of
Of cooling centers?
cooling centers.
Mm-hmm.
Next time you come on, though, we do need to talk about your background, your history, what you
Sure.
do as commander. You're up there at the top of the food chain. So not only do we have female officers, we do have female leaders within the police department and throughout the city. So
Sounds like a wonderful time.
kudos to you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Christy is
Thank
the
you.
coolest.
Christy
Oh,
is
man.
the coolest. We can
Pun
call her
intended.
Goodness, I've got you guys
Cool.
fooled, but thank you.
Cool Christy.
Yeah.
Can we
Cool
call you
Chrissy.
that? Yeah.
Sure. Sure, why not?
That's it for this edition of Now You Know Why, the #1 podcast in the city. Thank you for joining us and tune in next time.